Oh, John Cena has turned heel. AEW Revolution is this weekend, and Cody Rhodes speaking right now on SmackDown. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Let's do it. Yes, indeed. Where is he? There's Johnny. Johnny North is here. It's Friday night.
I don't know if Dave is here anymore, though. Can anyone hear Dave?
Here we go.
Dave's going to
Sorry about that.
There we go.
It's Friday night, John. We're here to talk wrestling. You're here. I'm here. We got a big show. There's a lot going on. We were not on after the Elimination Chamber, so there's a lot to cover here tonight. Revolution coming up from AEW on Sunday night. Big show for them. Cody Rhodes cutting a passionate promo on SmackDown right now that I can't really hear because I'm talking to you. Get my subtitles going for this Netflix feed.
Yeah, that's all I got is the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to see Angelo's back there. He's watching. That's good. I don't know if he's watching last night. He's watching tonight. That's good.
Yeah. So, a lot has happened, Johnny North. Right?
It's a great thing about wrestling. There's always something happening in wrestling. Like every week, it's always like, well, it's a brand new chapter.
Yeah.
You got another one.
It seems more new this week, though. Seems like we got more this week than we get usually. I mean, we are on the road to WrestleMania. We're like a month away from WrestleMania, so this is the big time of year for the WWE, and they're doing the most. They've got all their stars coming out. They got The Rock. They got John Cena, and they did a major angle at the Elimination Chamber. It was solid stuff. Right?
Well,
Cody comes out, Rock comes out. Cody says he's not going to join up with The Rock, tells him to go F himself. He actually said the bad word, John. I'm not going to say because we're too early on YouTube. You got to wait till later to say bad words on YouTube. It's the whole thing. Nevertheless.
Uncensored.
Yes, he was swearing at The Rock. And The Rock was unhappy with this. He wanted Cody's soul, and The Rock was not willing to, or Cody was not willing to sell his soul to The Rock. Cody Rhodes looking at the sign right now. I'm distracted by Cody and his passion.
Wait, you said
John Cena, you want some, come get some. Because John Cena had just won the Elimination Chamber and was standing in the ring because John Cena knew that he was going to face Cody Rhodes now at WrestleMania. So Cena was there. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. I'm describing something that we've all seen, right? At this point, who hasn't seen this?
I mean, you saw it again like probably 5 times already tonight.
Yeah.
On SmackDown, they highlighted it. So
Cena acts like he's happy, but he's not happy. He's actually with The Rock. Rock gives him the signal, and Cena beats the hell out of Cody. Did The Rock put his hands on Cody? He did a little bit, too. He beat up Cody a bit, right? Travis Scott got in there.
I feel he just whipped him, I think, with the belt.
Whipped him with the belt, yeah.
I think that's pretty much all that happened. That's another thing. I don't know if that's a big deal for you, but Travis Scott also turned heel. Because the last time I remember, like, he was a face. He came out with Jey Uso, right?
Yeah.
And now suddenly, I guess he's a bad guy, too.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters and all that, but he actually made, I think, more headlines than expected with his attack on Cody that, as people can see, Cody has a black eye. Much more makeup than needed, but still, he actually has a black eye. And, well, I guess he wants to wrestle, so that's him showing that he wants to get involved more. So I guess we're probably going to see Travis Scott in a match at some point. So I'm sure you're very excited for that.
Well, I mean, not really. He seems dangerous. He hurt Cody. He may have concussed Cody. Concussions are serious. He punched him for real while Cody was just laying there letting him punch him. So, Travis Scott, maybe he is good in wrestling. Maybe he's not. I'll tell you how he would be good in wrestling, John, is if the next time he's in the ring with Cody Rhodes, there's a real stiff receipt coming Travis Scott's way, and Travis Scott just deals with it. because as far as I'm concerned, Cody Rhodes owes Travis Scott one. Big time.
Well, that's good, though. It sells it. It's good.
Sure.
Now you want to see him get beat up.
Yes. Yes, I want to see him get beat up. Severely beat up. Because,
I'm sure.
I mean, that's just,
happy.
It's disrespectful. You're going in there, you're smoking weed in the ring, and then you're like punching Cody Rhodes as like hard as you can in the ear and in the face. Like, what are you doing? With like a weapon of some sort too? What did he have?
I don't know what he had exactly, but did you notice too, like when Cena had Cody in the STFU, like he tried to push Cody up? Like, I don't know what he was trying to do with that. Like, what was happening there? Was he trying to like completely stretch out Cody? Like, what was going on there?
Confusion.
Oh, there was a lot of like, I don't know if they really planned that out there. I think they just told like Travis Scott, hey, like you got to bring it or something. You got to make it bloody. I think The Rock hyped him up too much. That was the problem. And that's another thing too. If the guy isn't trained for it, and you hype him up, like, what do you expect that happens? I don't put so much on him.
No.
I put it on the trained professionals that are there that put him in that spot.
Yeah. They're just letting it all happen because it's all fun. Do whatever. Oh, it's all fun. Oh, just have a good time in there. It's a dangerous path that they're going down with that type of stuff. Just letting anybody and everybody do pro wrestling. Logan Paul in the Elimination Chamber, Travis Scott punching Cody Rhodes, The Rock and John Cena showing up whenever they want and taking over the whole show. I don't know. I was very happy with what CM Punk said on Raw.
Hey, Dave
this
and Johnny,
week.
If I am being honest,
What the hell?
I was the first one in the entire world to say that Logan Paul is something special.
Oh, he got
Mark
me
my
again.
words.
This guy.
Yeah. You got to watch out for the key words. There's key words that you can't say. It's like saying Alexa Bliss. You can't say those kind of words anymore. At least you can't, because I know your echo goes off. So you got to watch out for that. AJ's all over the place.
Well, it's you know, I don't know. John Cena, Cody Rhodes is the main event for WrestleMania. Everybody's very excited that John Cena finally turned heel. I thought it was kind of a cool way to finish the show, a bit of a twist.
Agreed, yeah. Yep.
Bit of a swerve. You didn't really expect that to happen.
I'd be later. So yeah, they did earlier than expected. Yeah.
I wasn't really expecting Cena to turn heel at all on this run.
Well, I thought something would happen, but I thought they'd save it for Mania, but they gave it now, and it's actually better because now you shape it up face versus heel going into it. I like that, but that's pretty good. However, I don't like Cena not being on Raw or The Rock being on Raw. And that's why we get like drenched in this like never-ending highlight package because they have nothing else to show us.
Yeah. I don't like that they're not on Raw or SmackDown this week, but I figure they're going to be there soon, right?
Not next week. I think it's the
week after.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, next week they're at Madison Square Garden, but next week they're doing Seth and Punk in a steel cage at Madison Square Garden live on Raw.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm expecting Roman Reigns to show up and cause havoc in that match, setting up something for Mania, no?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know about you. I'm not excited for that triple threat. It's kind of disappointing, I think. For me, like, when you have CM Punk, you could have done something much more than that, but they decided not to go down that path, sadly.
But at this point, that's the path, no?
Well, didn't we also get him hyped up against, like, Logan Paul? Like, to be honest, like, that was far more intriguing than a triple threat where you just, put him in there.
They were advertising AJ Styles calling out Logan Paul on Raw.
Well, I think they're going in that direction, and that's a fine Mania match too. I got no problem with that, but I thought they actually had some meat on the bone with Punk and Logan. They kind of hyped it up the last couple of weeks, but oh well.
I don't think they wanted Punk to expose Logan on the microphone. Because, like, he would say some things and Logan wouldn't really have much of a response. I think Punk would make him look bad. And he wouldn't mind doing it. And we would all love it. But they might not want it to happen. The powers that be. The people that run the evil TKO group. They want to keep Logan looking cool. You know? Nick
I
Khan
actually didn't hear that.
Nick Khan wants
story.
Logan to look cool.
I see Ryan post that thing about Rhea Ripley. I did not hear that story. We'll get to that, but I didn't hear anything about Rhea being injured. That's kind of news to me.
Is that why she dropped the belt?
We'll talk about it later, but I didn't hear that. Dang, that's terrible. That's true. But she looked fine on Raw. Like, I don't see where she would have got injured, but
now that she lost the belt, like, what the hell's the match?
Well, it's not done yet. You know, we'll wait and see. They're still going with it. It'll probably be a three-way in the end, but it's not done. Things will happen. More twists and turns.
2 3-ways at WrestleMania?
Well, how many single matches do we have? I feel like we have at least 5 or 6 already.
I guess. We can go through a WrestleMania card, too, tonight if you want to. Go through all the matches that we expect to happen. I mean, there's a few that are official, but some are not quite. Cena turning heel after all this time, I think, is, you know, a fun move, Johnny, right? It's interesting. Him and The Rock as a team, very strong. Travis Scott as their, like, manager guy, I think is good. Him doing anything physical, I think, is unnecessary.
Agreed.
I think it's a very strong group, and I think that those guys going up against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, you know, puts Cody in legit danger where you're like, oh, maybe Cody drops the belt to Cena at Mania. Freshly turned heel John Cena. You're telling me he's not going to win his first match as a heel with The Rock and Travis Scott in his corner?
I'm thinking that Cody will retain. Because I'm thinking very much what happened last year. How there will be a bunch of interference and, you know, The Rock will throw the deck against Cody quite a bit. But in the end, you know, Cody will get his group or whatever, and we didn't get it last year, so we'll get it this year. I think Stone Cold will come out and help Cody stun The Rock and all that, and that'll help lead to the victory. Probably stun Cena. That'll be a moment too. And Cody will retain. I think that's the way it's going to go down.
Mm-hmm. Or they strengthen the group and add, like, Brock Lesnar. And it's Cena, Rock, and Brock Lesnar against the world. If those three guys got together, could anyone in the WWE stop them?
You know, it's fun booking. We saw a fun booking like that tonight in the U.S. Women's Philadelphia Street Fight, where it looked like Michin, like they threw all the odds against her, but she was fighting on, beating Chelsea, beating the interference, put her through the table, looked like she had her beat, and then, nope, one more thing, and you lose. So, I mean, that could happen.
Yeah. Here comes
I don't
Brock.
think so, but... Yeah, I don't think so, but I think Austin's the last thing. But wait and see. That's just what I think right now, going into it.
Undertaker was there last year. Maybe they do a follow-up with Taker. He loves being at Mania. He can't stay away.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Was he the last one? I don't know if he was the last one. He took out The Rock.
Yeah, he took out The Rock.
But I feel Seth had the last laugh, right, or something, or he had the last little thing.
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. The sequence of events.
Right now it's Jimmy Uso and Drew McIntyre
Yeah.
in the ring again.
They are doing big matches on SmackDown, though, tonight. Jimmy Uso, Drew McIntyre. They did Braun Strowman and Solo Sikoa. Like, they're, that match didn't really have a finish. I don't know if this match will have a finish. Right?
We've seen it quite a few times recently, this match. I think Jimmy won last time.
Yeah.
I guess Drew should win this one.
I like that Michin Chelsea Green match. It was pretty good. And then Albert Fire came out and hit a Code Red on a chair on Michin. That was devastating.
I mean, again, shocking. And it gave her something because they fired her tag partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dawn. So it's just fire now. So
yeah, she needed something.
That's it. Gave her something to do. So that's nice. I was a little disappointed because Chelsea Green came out dressed up as Cactus Jack and did nothing very Cactus Jack-like.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little disappointed about that. But the match was okay for what it was. I didn't have high expectations.
What did you think of the Chamber?
Talking about the men's or the women's? Which one are we talking about?
Just the show in general.
Oh, overall the show.
I mean, the finish.
Was good.
I thought the finish, the end angle was cool, right?
Yeah, the end angle was fine. It's awkward to end a show like that, but it's not bad to end the show awkwardly. Sometimes I don't mind that, where it's like the bad guys win to end the show.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that sometimes. Like, I feel that worked for that moment. I thought overall the show was good, but I feel, again, maybe I'm biased. I thought in Montreal we got a better Chamber show overall.
Yeah,
I felt
think so too.
Like there were some okay moments, and that's what they focused on more than having good wrestling matches. Where I thought they didn't really in the ring, nothing too terrible, but nothing that really stood out. They were going more for the moments, and they definitely got their moments at Elimination Chamber. But in terms of great matches, I'm not so sure about that. I'm sure we'll talk about Kevin and Sammy. I liked it. I didn't think it was their best. They said that was going to be their best match ever. They set the bar too high, I think.
No. It wasn't their
good.
best match ever. I mean, it was a good match. It was probably the best match on the show, right?
Oh, yes. 100%.
But, I don't know what they tried to do. There was no blood,
I think Kevin a little bit. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe a little bit of blood.
They're so limited in WWE doing that style of match because we see AEW and how far they go. I just watched Dynamite this week and I saw Swerve Strickland stab Ricochet in the head with a pair of scissors. And the guy was just bleeding on a just average Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Somebody's going to bleed on AEW. And it's just when they do the matches and their crazy hardcore matches, they're just nuts. And they're so intense. And they're so good.
Well, they go too far. Compared to WWE, they definitely go
No, I disagree.
line.
I don't think they go too far. I think they go to a place that makes sense for pro wrestling.
The syringe wasn't going too far?
Well, whatever. They do crazy things, but I think sometimes you do crazy things and you push it. I think it's all good. I think, they do. Sometimes, maybe it's a little gross and in poor taste. But when they do it right, because they don't have limitations, they do it better than the WWE in that way because WWE just puts so many limits on what you can actually do. I'm not saying that AEW is perfect and they don't go too far necessarily in some of their hardcore matches. I'm just saying that their hardcore matches are so much better in general than the WWE's because WWE is kind of, safe. You have to work way safer. And, whatever, you could say that's good, but I don't think it is. I mean, since when is that good? Everybody talks about how great ECW was. I mean, they weren't working safe. All the best wrestling, I mean, it's hard hitting, it's violent. What are we trying to watch here? I like a more violent product. If you're gonna wrestle. There should be blood. If you're fighting all the time, somebody should bleed once in a while. Have you seen the UFC? They don't even have weapons in the UFC and they bleed all the time because they're fighting. When you're punching and hitting in the face, you bleed. When there's barbed wire, you should probably bleed. And, Kevin and Sammy are great. They had a great match. They're excellent. But, I saw them have, a ladder war in Ring of Honor, and that was crazy. You know? They've had matches where they haven't had these WWE limitations, and it's, incredible. And in that style of match, when you have, kind of certain things you're not allowed to do, it's well, all right. They're doing their version of what this is supposed to be like. It's not as good. It's watered down. And I don't care for it. It's fine. It's a nice little thing that they do, but it's whatever. Next. I don't need it. Because if I want to see that type of match done correctly, I'll watch, Hangman and MJF. They're going to kill each other on Sunday.
There's a good chance, yeah.
It's going to be fucking crazy. I can't wait for that. Because I know that they're allowed to do whatever they want to get the point across. And when you put it in the wrestler's hands, it's better. Not always, but when you have the right wrestlers, it is. And those two guys are the right wrestlers. Ricochet and Swerve, what are they going to do to each other on Sunday? It's going to be devastating. Those two matches are going to be nuts, John. I'm not so excited about Edge and Moxley, but man, MJF and Hangman and Ricochet and Swerve, that's, that's going to be the real wrestling. The real, violent, hardcore type wrestling that Kevin and Sammy aren't allowed to do.
Well, it's not like their match wasn't violent because they still did a lot of violent stuff, but I won't disagree that they weren't able to push the envelope like you get to see in AEW. And again, maybe that's in their best interest of, for their safety, that you probably don't want them to do that because you want them to actually be around and be wrestling at WrestleMania in a couple of weeks. So
but I think
get that.
This is a bigger conversation about what pro wrestling is. And I think it's an art form. And I think when you put limitations on art, you neuter it.
That's an interesting point. I mean, you have something there.
I think you need to let the artists do their art. And if you tell them, you can do it, but you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that, it's well, forget it. What's the point? And in WWE now, it's so overly scripted and so much based on I'm going to talk to you and say a thing while we wrestle and then we'll hit a move. And it's is it wrestling anymore? I barely recognize it.
Well, I enjoyed the violence of Kevin and Sammy. I just felt there were moments where there was a lot of dead points in the match, and I felt they lost the crowd a couple times because they took too long to set things up and everything. And it happened more than once in the match. And that's going to happen. I mean, when you have those kind of matches where you set things up, there's going to be some dead points. But it happened more than once. I feel like at least 2 or 3 times. And that, to me, that just took away a little bit where I felt the other matches, it felt like a nonstop roller coaster with their matches. So, but again, like, you have to understand, too, they're older, too, as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you want them to, like, be in wheelchairs right now? Not so much. So the fact that they could still do a match like this at this point in their careers is actually quite amazing. And it's amazing they pulled this off in front of over 30,000 people, too. I mean, that's the most people have ever seen them wrestle. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
And another personal note, because I know a bunch of guys that were security afterwards that came out and they got a bunch of screen time. So that was really awesome to see that for them. So I was happy for that. So again, personal bias on that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I thought, overall, cool show. I was at a jiu-jitsu event that was really good. The jiu-jitsu show I went to, the Montreal Quintet on Saturday, was sick. Had a good time.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. I imagine you guys have videos and photos.
I don't know. I didn't take a ton of videos. Really. I don't know. Maybe one. I posted a thing on Instagram, I think, but that was it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
didn't happen.
Again, speaking of the Chamber, I thought the tag match was my least favorite match of the whole show. I don't know how you felt about it, but I wasn't overly impressed by that. I mean, it's fine to have Trish give her a moment in Toronto. That's nice that she got to be there, wrestling fun for kids. That's cool. I didn't think the match was anything special. That could have been on SmackDown, and I think we would have been fine with that. But
yeah,
it's fine that they gave her that.
It was like a nothing match, though. It wasn't like a, I mean, there was the women's chamber, the men's chamber, Kevin and Sammy, and that. I mean, it's always going to be, it was positioned as the weak point in the show,
The only thing that stood out to me in that match was right near the end. Tiffany wants to go for her moonsault, but she just tags out to Trish, whatever, tags Trish out. And Trish is just there on the apron, and she boots Trish out. Because I guess Trish was in the way or something. I was like, that was a little weird that she did that, but whatever. She did that to make sure, I guess she had room to get to the corner. That was odd. That was the only thing that really stood out in that match. It's kind of nothing that stood out.
Johnny, they're going on a European tour. They're advertising Barcelona, Spain for SmackDown next Friday. They're doing TV in Europe, all over Europe, which they never do. So they're charging those people crazy amounts of money for those tickets, right?
Do we have any idea of... I'm going to guess this is all going to be on tape delay, right? Because if they go to Europe, that means that stuff's happening in the afternoon, right? They're not going to air that in the afternoon on Netflix, are they?
I think they are.
Wow.
I think they are. I'm not sure, but I thought that was the plan. But I'm not 100%. We'll find out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for us. But I feel SmackDown, because it's on the USA Network.
Yeah, probably
so
not
at least
SmackDown.
in the States.
But maybe.
But it's still on Netflix. But it's on Netflix for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we won't have to wait. I don't know. I don't know how that'll work for us. Because I'm watching SmackDown on Netflix. All WWE stuff is on Netflix now in Canada.
Right.
It's not like that in the States. Like, they have it on USA Network right now. The SmackDown.
PLEs are still on Peacock.
Oh, yeah. The pay-per-views are still on Peacock, too, right? We have literally everything WWE on Netflix. It's so easy. It's so convenient. So inexpensive compared to what it used to be, too.
Crazy.
I'm saving so much money because I don't have to pay for the WWE Network. I already had Netflix, and Netflix is cheaper than WWE Network. It's great. I don't need people are complaining about the catalog and everything. Like, they don't have all the old stuff, whatever. I've got, like, a huge DVD collection. I don't need anything. I got everything. I've got 2 3-disc Bret Hart sets. All right? The 2 of them. You know how much Bret Hart I have? I'm good. That's all I need to watch. Old Bret matches. If I want to watch old wrestling. Plus, it's all on YouTube or whatever, right? People complaining.
Well, this is supposed to air live on Netflix worldwide, so I guess stay tuned next week when we're on, I guess, because that'll be interesting.
Yeah. It'd be great if it was on in the afternoon. We could watch SmackDown before we come on.
I mean, if we could pull it off, we can pull it off. Wait and see.
Barcelona,
Stay tuned on that
Spain.
one.
Barcelona, Spain next Friday, okay, for SmackDown. Then they have a show in Dortmund, Germany on the Saturday. Sunday, they're in Hanover, Germany. Monday, they're doing Raw in Brussels. Then they have, I guess, a few days off. And they're back on the Friday in Bologna, Italy. Then the Saturday, they're in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Sunday, they're in Nottingham, England. Monday, for Raw, they're in Glasgow, Scotland on the 24th of March. Then they get a few days off again. I wonder what they do. Like, I guess it's a split crew, right? It's like a Raw and SmackDown crew.
I would think.
So, say you go on the tour, right? You're SmackDown. You go to Barcelona, Spain next Friday. And then you have maybe a show in Germany the next day. And then does the Raw crew take over? Like, how does all that work? Like, you know what I mean? They have a show on Friday in Barcelona, Spain. Then Saturday in Dortmund, Germany is like a live event. And then Sunday in Hanover, Germany is another live event. And then Monday it's Raw in Belgium. But it's 2 different crews for Raw and SmackDown.
But then there'll be some people like Cody Rhodes who's probably going to be on every show, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because Cody's got to be on SmackDown and he's got a feud with probably Cena on Raw.
Mm-hmm. But then you're in Brussels, Belgium on Monday. And then Friday, say you're Cody, right? You're in Brussels, Belgium on Monday. Friday, you're in Bologna, Italy. Do you fly back to the States on Tuesday and, like, spend Wednesday in America and then fly back out to be in Italy on Friday? Like, or do you stay in, I guess they're staying in Europe the whole time, no?
I would think.
That's tough. It's like a month and a half in Europe. It's a lot of shows, too. Hanover, Germany. Brussels, Belgium on the Raw. Bologna, Italy on the Friday for SmackDown. Northern Ireland, England. Glasgow, Scotland. That's for Monday, the 24th, they're in Scotland. Friday, the 28th, they're in London, England for SmackDown. Like, all these shows, SmackDown and Raw and everything, they're all going to be in Europe for the rest of the month. They're not in the States until the 4th of April. Like, after Raw at MSG coming up Monday,
Right.
They will not be back in the States for TV until the 4th of April in Chicago.
Wow. Well, if you notice, too, Punk's only on selected dates, too. And he's on SmackDown dates. So that's it. Like, he's traveling, but he's not doing the whole thing.
Yeah. They're in London, England for SmackDown on the 28th of March, okay? Then the 29th of March, they got a show in Vienna, Austria. 30th of March on the Sunday, they got a show in Amsterdam. And then the Monday, they're back in London at the O2 for Raw. So London gets the SmackDown, and then they go to Vienna and then Amsterdam and then back to London for Raw on the Monday. They get 2 TVs.
Wow. Well, that's not too bad for them.
And that's March 31st, which will take us to the end of the month, and then they'll be back in the States, you know, leading into WrestleMania in Vegas.
And then there's something to add on to being live. Usually crowds in Europe are quite rowdy. So there's a reason why they usually have them on tape delay, because they can edit out a lot of the things that the crowd says. You see it a lot in like Botchamania videos afterwards, what the crowd actually says.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that they might want to take into consideration by airing all this stuff live. A lot of stuff they probably don't want to have aired on. Well, they can just mute the crowd, I guess. So they're going to have to do a lot of that, more than likely.
Yeah.
Here's the main event for SmackDown, setting up right here.
LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. You think LA Knight wins here?
Well, we already had like a screw job like finish for the U.S. title, so we shouldn't do another one.
No.
But it feels like this is the time to change the U.S. title. I would change it at Mania. But it's like it's LA Knight. You should win it.
Yeah. I think LA Knight should be the champion at Mania, defending against somebody, not like Shinsuke going into Mania as U.S. champion is weird. Like, his run has been nothing. It was weird that he took it in the first place. I don't know what the hell any of this has been.
Oh, we're going to find out in a few moments here.
Yeah. I hope they give it back to LA Knight.
I mean, we ended Raw with the title change, so I don't feel we're going to end SmackDown also with title change, but stranger things have happened here.
They do a lot of same, though, John.
They do?
And then, we're leading into Mania. You kind of want to do a reset, figure out what's going on. After the Chamber, you figure everything else out, It's like, okay, let's figure out the main event, and then after the Chamber, we'll work on the mid-card.
Well, we'll probably get another draft, I'm sure, a couple weeks after Mania.
That won't mean anything. So it's Nakamura and LA Knight for the U.S. title in the main event.
So, well, just to finish with the Chamber, I'd give it a 7 on 10 overall. Like, I think it could have been so much more, but I mean, still good for what it was. Again, I think Montreal had a better Elimination Chamber, but good show overall. To me, I think the thing that stood out the most is the whole, like, Pat McAfee thing, which I know you weren't too happy about him being upset about the U.S. national anthem.
Deal with it.
Like, to me, it's just like, wow, like, it's incredible how tone deaf WWE was to not realize that. Like, I think we talked about it last week. Like, they can't be that tone deaf to realize they shouldn't do this. And yet they did it anyway because they're so tone deaf and then shocked and appalled that it happened.
Yeah. They can't believe that the Canadians are booing the American anthem that's sung right in their face. They can't believe it. And, like, Pat McAfee, man, he could suck it. Because he's one of these guys that's backing all this stuff. He's one of these supporters, So
I know.
He can, he can take his little outrage and get out. He can leave. Deal with it.
You did see that he did apologize, though. He had a long thing about,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't completely, think he did that because he had to, or he wanted to. Like, I think because he was told to, probably, and like,
he's a moron on the wrong side of history, is what he is. Fucking goofball. All these guys. Tired of this, John. I'm tired of this.
Well, I complained last week about how like Chelsea Green should have a gimmick more like Brett. And now we've kind of seen it where it's like, yeah, that's probably never going to happen now because I think WWE is definitely trying to stay away from this whole like Canada-US war that's going on right now.
It's scorching heat, brother. I mean,
I mean, if this was 97, they would easily take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to do it. It's too bad. Because I know people in the Indies are definitely doing this. I know Canadians that went to North Carolina. Drew Onyx took a couple of students to North Carolina. What do you think their theme song was when they came out in North Carolina?
Oh, Canada?
You damn right it was.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it just works right now. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
But WWE, remember WWE, they're supposed to be like, we're not about politics. So I guess that's them trying to stay away from that.
Well, what do you expect? What do you expect to happen?
Well, it's not going to end anytime soon. So there's a lot of gas in that fire. They could take advantage of it. But it's a different WWE. They're not in that, not in their game anymore. The game is about celebrities. Just make as much money as possible. The heat will come where it goes.
I'm about ready to cut a Bret Hart style promo right now, John. I'm about ready to go Bret Hart 97 right now. I'm glad to live in a country where you can't blatantly buy your way into power and abuse it. I'm glad to live in a country that's not openly for sale to the highest bidder. Anyways.
It's not going to stop anytime soon. It's not going to stop anytime soon, but it's the way it is right now. It's just the way we are and the way it's going to be. So,
I think if you have $5 million, you can just buy your way in now. I think that's the story, isn't it? Fuck.
It's funny that, we'll see what happens with you and AJ tomorrow. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Tune in tomorrow, boys, for if you want to keep that talk going.
I can't. I can't do it. I'll talk to you, John. I can't talk to AJ. It doesn't work. It's got to a point where I'm not tolerating it, I'm not tolerating any of the nonsense. I mean, it's a war.
I did see the new I Am Canadian, Ryan. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if you saw that or not, but that was good. You remember the I Am Canadian commercial? They made a new one now on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just... It's not even pro-Canada. It's just like, whoa. Take it easy. And, I don't want to get too far into it, John. But it's a weird time. It's a weird time.
Because it happened in a wrestling environment, so
yeah,
we're touching on it a little bit at least.
It was
that it happened.
It was a big, controversial thing with Pat McAfee in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It feels like such a weird world where Doug Ford says a thing and I'm like, yeah, right on. That week I'm like, what the hell's going on here? He's turning into Captain Canada and he's saying things. I'm like, yeah, he's like, I'm going to tariff them more. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Fucking cool. I don't want to be cheering for Doug Ford. That's crazy. Anyways.
Well, I mentioned this last week, when I was at the Bell Center. I never heard the national anthem sung like that passionately before. And it's really brought in Canadians, especially Quebecers, more united more than ever before. So if anything, there are some positives to take out of this, at least for Canada.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pushing us pretty close together. Harold Schneider dropping the 1867 super chat.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Proud to live in the best country in the world. With a maple leaf. He's talking about Canada, brother. It is a good country compared to most of them out there. In comparison to a lot of other countries, it's pretty excellent. Is it the best country in the world? I don't know. I've not been to many countries. I've not been to most countries. I think other countries are pretty cool, probably. But, yeah, Canada is pretty good in comparison to many countries where you hear about that seem like not so good. I was going to say bad, but maybe not bad, but just not as good as Canada. Canada's a good country. America right now seems a little rough-ski, but, it's pretty good. I like it. I like it when I'm there. They're just being, some of them are being a little fucky right now. They need to unfuckulate themselves and relax. Chill out, bud.
Well, I think for me, the top moments at Chamber, number 1 was Cena. Number 2 was the anthem. Number 3, I think, was Jade. Her comeback.
Jade Cargill, brother.
Like, to me, the Jade thing actually took away from the Women's Chamber match because nothing really topped that.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess, Bianca's hair whip. But even then, like, they replayed, I think, the Jade thing more than they replayed the Bianca hair whip.
A lot of Canada love on the chat, and I'm loving it, John.
I'm glad. I'm glad for that. Wait a minute. Is that a finish or no? Or what
no,
happened
because Nakamura accidentally just did this spray of the mist in the face of Little Nate, and then LA Knight rolled up Nakamura, but Nakamura couldn't get pinned because Little Nate's eyes are bleeding from the spray. Nakamura just kicked LA Knight in the head, and he just hit him with a Kinshasa. That was kind of like a famous Kinshasa.
There was no ref.
But there's no referee, brother. Oh, Shinsuke's going for the chair.
Well, I don't know if the match is still going or not.
It must be.
There's no ref.
I guess, so that's it?
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Again? Oh, he just hit the BFT on the chair. He's pinning him. Where's the referee? There's a referee. 1, 2, 3. LA Knight's the new United States champion, Johnny. I figured.
How about that?
That's the move. There you go.
When do they have it where the ref runs in, actually counts 3?
Yeah.
That's a rare one, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he had him down so long that the referee had time to do an entrance, run in, and pin. Ooh, they got pyro and everything for LA Knight, new United States champion. Yeah.
Go.
There you go. Over. See, this makes sense, John. This is the move, like I was saying.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, a little surprised. Yeah.
I'm not really surprised. I figured they were doing this match to push the belt off Shinsuke. Because what the fuck was it doing on Shinsuke?
I mean, technically didn't use the chair. I mean, no one saw it, so yeah.
The chair was, he hit the thing on the chair, didn't he?
But the referee didn't see it, right? If the referee didn't see it, he didn't use it, so.
No. Well, there you go. Another title change. See, they had one Japanese person on Raw win a title, and then a Japanese person on SmackDown lose a title. See how it all evens out for Japan?
It's weird. I don't know what's going on with I was very surprised. Like, it's not a bad thing that Io won the title, but I was surprised. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel that was kind of shady because Bianca pushed Rhea right in front of the referee.
Should have been a DQ.
But the referee, I guess it was they kind of said it was the referee's decision, just like back them off and like.
That was Jessica Carr.
Yep. So that's on her, I guess. But like,
I call her Jessica Carr.
And she's like a wrestler too, no?
But
like,
her name is because every time they say it, it's her name is Jessica Carr, right? But every time they say it, it sounds like Jessica Carr. So she's Jessica Carr.
Well, you listen to commentary more than I do.
Yeah,
I really try to.
Jessica Carr. Jessica Carr. I can't even say it right. Jessica Carr.
it's funny for the Cena thing because people hated the Michael Cole, Pat McAfee commentary so much. I heard people try to have like, oh, if JR did it instead. Because they'd rather JR do the commentary.
Yeah, well, of course. Who wouldn't rather classic JR, do commentary than the guys they have now? The guys they have now are awful. I've been saying it for years. None of them are good. None of them. Get JBL back. I mean, I like Booker T. I don't know why they don't have Booker T on the main show. There are people out there that could do it.
Yeah, but I think Booker, I think we mentioned this before, I think he's in NXT. They're always usually the same spot, so they don't move around too much. He's happy about that.
Well, you know, there are people out there that they could get, but they're not getting them. It's not.
Get their guys. Look at their Hall of Fame. I'm very happy they got Lex Luger, don't get me wrong. And like I like the Natural Disasters, but I feel like they shouldn't have been picked before other tag teams. But because of Tugboat's relationship with Cody Rhodes, you know, he gets a little bit of favoritism. It's keeping the family, man. I get it. Makes sense. It's wrestling.
Well, I like John Tenta going into the Hall of Fame, though.
I love it too. Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, look at that tag team that was there for 2 years at most compared to other tag teams.
Yeah.
Like, there's a list of tag teams before them. I'm sorry. Like, and again, I like the National Disasters. I thought they were a good tag team. But didn't last long. And, like, Demolition right away. Come on. They're not in, like, and the Rougeaus, too, as well. Like, maybe they weren't ever tag team champions, but they lasted much longer than Natural Disasters did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's some of that, but I'm not mad at it. Come on. Great Canadian wrestler, John Tenta. He's not getting in otherwise. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. The guy is a legend of the business. I'm happy he's getting in. I don't think he gets in if he's not part of the Natural Disasters. I don't think Earthquake on his own gets in. I don't think The Shark gets in. I don't think just John Tenta gets in. But John Tenta as Earthquake, one half of the Natural Disasters, even though he has, you know, he's dead, but just the fact that he's getting in posthumously, I think, is good because he is deserving. He's a legend of the business. I'm a big fan. From British Columbia, great Canadian, John Tenta. I like the Natural Disasters. I thought they were a classic tag team. They were in the arcade game, like WrestleMania, the arcade game, you know?
For the Super NES, yes, I remember.
Yeah. No, but I mean the arcade machine.
The NES one as well, too.
No, not NES. No, I mean like in the arcade, like the stand-up arcade thing.
Oh, you had the NES. Oh, you put it on the arcade one. I had the NES version.
Like at an arcade, you know? They were in there. Yeah. They were good. They were, you know, they were part of WWF at that time. I'm happy for them getting in. And yeah, maybe other teams should get in, but they'll get in eventually. I don't know.
I agree with what Eric wrote. He said the Midnight Express. I agree, but that's a little bit more complicated because then you'd have to get Cornette as well. And I'd love for Cornette to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think that's a little bit of a dicey kind of situation because I don't think a lot of people in WWE like Cornette. So that might be tough. See, this is the thing about getting to the Hall of Fame. You have to kind of comply with WWE. Lex Luger, he's kind of fallen in line.
Yeah.
Tugboat falls in line.
Yeah.
You fall in line, you're going to get a spot. You don't, you might not get a spot. A good chance you don't get a spot.
Cornette's not in the Hall of Fame. Is JR in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, right?
Yeah, JR's been. Yeah. JR and Jerry Lawler are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Cornette should be in the Hall of Fame. That guy is a legend of the business, for sure.
Well, he's got his enemies, though, in WWE.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, it would be tough to induct him now, but, you know, I don't know. Maybe one day. But that's how it works, you know? That's how wrestling works.
A lot of
You got to
politics.
be in good standing with the company. Johnny,
What's next?
I just want to talk about Cena for a second here. People were comparing it to Hogan joining the NWO and the whole NWO turn, right? And it's not the same. Because,
No.
I mean, for so many reasons, it's not the same. Like, people were shocked, and I guess some people were upset. But, like, I think the vibe for the most part was, ooh, okay, this is cool. Interesting twist on a TV show. Like, it doesn't seem like... It feels like John Cena is just like, oh, he's going to play this role now. Because WWE is so Hollywood and so produced, and also kayfabe is so dead that you don't really associate the guy with the turn, and it's just, it doesn't hit as hard with John Cena. When Hulk Hogan turned heel, they were throwing garbage in the ring. People went nuts. People felt betrayed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal. This was not that. This is like kind of cool. And for that reason, I'm not sure that they're actually gonna get booed. Like, he turned heel, but I don't think he's gonna be a heel necessarily. He's kind of cool. He's with The Rock and Travis Scott. That's not cool. It's pretty cool. People like The Rock and Travis Scott. People like John Cena. And now he's like a badass. I think that's kind of cool. I kind of like him more now. He attacked Cody Rhodes. That was funny.
Right.
You know? I mean,
if you saw what happened, like the reaction was very mixed in Toronto, I found. Like, I know WWE, they're going to, propaganda saying like all these streamers are being like, how could you, Cena? I mean, that's a bunch of BS and all that.
Yeah.
But if you watched it, like, a lot of people were actually cheering for it and happy about it. It was more like shock, but they weren't booing so much. And yeah, some people were saying F you Rock, but some people were chanting Rocky, Rocky. So this is the problem, is that they're too good. That's the problem. Like, people love them too much. So they're more of like tweeners now instead of heels, actually.
People hated Roman Reigns as a babyface. He turned heel. He became the tribal chief. He became the most beloved man in wrestling. Come on. It's backfiring already, I think.
Jason brings up a great point. Like, Hogan turned on all his beliefs. Cena hasn't really done that yet. Like, people are making fun about the whole break a wish thing. He hasn't really made fun of kids or anything like that.
No.
Done anything like that whatsoever. Or change his colors. You think they're going to change his merch that they got for, like, this is Cena's last run? I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
So,
what has he done? He's aligned himself with The Rock, which makes sense. He's always kind of been buddy-buddy with The Rock since the matches with The Rock. He's super Hollywood, which we all know. He's super Hollywood now. He's attacked Cody Rhodes, which makes sense because he's facing him at WrestleMania for the title that he wants to win.
oh.
He just did a mean face. You know?
Well, in a nutshot.
Oh, yeah, he kicked him in the balls. But, like, so what? He had to do it because he's old and Cody Rhodes is tough. John Cena just went through an elimination chamber and he needed to beat up Cody Rhodes. He needed a shortcut. Cody Rhodes was fresh. He didn't wrestle a match. So he kicked him in the balls. So what? No one cares. It was cool. My theory is it was cool. We like John Cena. We like The Rock. We like Travis Scott. We like those guys. And maybe some people will boo. But those people are Cody crybabies, and we all know that those people are jabronis because the final boss told us so. And he was cool. And we liked him. So we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. We'll see how the crowd reacts. I know what the WWE will tell you about how the crowd is reacting, but we'll see what actually happens. Right?
Yeah, I see what Franco wrote. I hope we don't do another tag thing where it's going to be like Roman and Cody against like Cena and The Rock on night 1, and then we do the match on night 2. We don't need to do that this year at all.
I don't think so. I really think it's going to be Punk, Roman, and Seth at WrestleMania in a triple threat.
Sadly.
Yeah. Let's run it down, John. WrestleMania card, okay? It's John Cena, Cody Rhodes. It's Gunther and Jey Uso for the world title. It's AJ Styles, Logan Paul.
Probably.
It's CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. It's Charlotte Flair and Tiffy Time for the WWE Women's Championship. It's Io Sky and Bianca Belair and possibly Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title, right?
Right, yeah.
It's Naomi versus Jade Cargill in a grudge match.
Do we need that, though? I mean, Jade kind of took her out tonight, right? So, I mean, she got her revenge, took her out. I mean, took her out of the chamber, too. Why do you need a match? You already beat her up twice.
Okay. So, any other matches I'm missing? I mean, I think a tag team title match with the new champions.
Yes, boy!
Pretty Deadly defending
You're
against
gonna say the women's
other guys. No, I'm talking about the SmackDown men's tag team titles. I don't know if you know this, John, but Pretty Deadly tonight won a triple threat match. They Elton Prince pinned Chris Sabin. Okay?
He did.
And 1, 2, 3, clean middle of the ring in a triple threat match against the Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garzas. And now Pretty Deadly next week have a tag team title match in Barcelona, Spain, where I think they're going to win the tag team titles.
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
I think you're a little confused about that. I believe the Profits have the shot first.
Oh.
Then they get the next shot.
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy.
Well,
Whatever.
I guess you agree with me then.
Sure. Of course I do. But I was really, I mean, we popped big time in the living room. We were like, whoa, Pretty Deadly won. We were yes boying, high-fiving. They won. Clean.
Well, despite that, and despite the Profits getting the shot, I think, like you said, like at Mania, there's going to be a 5-way something kind of match, ladder match or something.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Like, we're going to get a bunch of non-finishes whenever the title's on the line until we get to Mania. That's where it'll all be settled, I think. Possibly a ladder match like they did last year, I think.
Okay, Street Profits is next week, eh, Johnny? And then the week after, or what?
At some point, they'll give it to...
Ooh, maybe in London, because they're from England.
I mean, probably. Makes sense,
London SmackDown, 28th of March. That would be massive. Come on.
Yes, boy!
Yes, boy. Jade Cargill's got a lot of heat, John. What's going on?
It's funny. It's on the ticker right now. We just talked about it, too. Jade Cargill
backstage controversy.
New twist. Yep. Well, I mean, this whole story that came out, I mean, it kind of makes a lot of sense. It feels like a lot of dots got connected because, like, we were wondering at the time, remember, this goes back to, I think, Clash at the Castle, that three-way match they had. I think it was Jade and Bianca defending against, like, Shayna and Zoe against, I think, Fire and Dawn. I think that was a three-way tag, right? And in that match, there was a moment that happened where Jay got put in a sleeper by Shayna. And remember, we said this, like, she's tapping, like, obviously tapping. And the ref, clear as day, like, you can hear it, like, stop tapping, don't tap out.
Yeah.
And
Jade was tapping because Shayna slapped a choke on her, I think, that Jade didn't like. And Jade was trying to get her off. She didn't know how.
And now there's a story out that apparently there was words backstage after the match,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm not sure if this happened. I mean, it's happened before. People get angry. It's going to happen. You're in a work environment. You're not going to like everyone you work with, but Jade going up to someone and saying that, you need to learn how to work, or you don't know how to work.
Yeah, that's rich.
That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough to say that to somebody, like,
especially coming from her.
Well, and then Shayna kind of bashed her a bit too on Twitter as well. Like,
did she?
Yeah, like I sent it to you actually, like the tweet about how there was rope issues, but Zoe was able to do a springboard like 3 times, no problem. Like,
because Jade has botched springboards.
Well, in that match in particular, that's what happened too, right? So, So it seems like a lot of the heat stemmed from that. Now, again, did she leave because of injury? I mean, that's what they said, right? But now some people are speculating it might be because of this now.
Yeah. That she's got, like, heat in the locker room.
Well, again, it can happen. You can get heat with people, and
she wanted time off too, and then she was saying she was injured, and people were not believing that she was injured.
I mean, she does have a kid. I understand when one of the holidays off. That kind of makes sense, but I could see where some people are upset because they actually did work the holidays. So I understand when people are upset. And then she came back and she did a vignette about coming back and how she's fighting against a bunch of wolves. And then Chelsea Green decides to do her own little thing on X and
kind
of make fun of that.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's a hostile like work environment, which I feel like we've said that about other places, but now WWE has become this now.
Yeah, it feels like there's some real heat on Jade Cargill from a lot of the people in the locker room. And Naomi's promo kind of adds, there's more weight to it considering all of that backstage turmoil with Jade that she seems to be causing. Because Naomi's like, yeah, I pushed her. I should have pushed her harder, and I did it for you, Bianca, because Jade, she doesn't really care about you. She's just using you, and she's, she's not good for you. She's not good. She's, she's a bad person. She's basically saying, like, Jade is bad. I'm actually your friend. I did attack Jade. I didn't want to tell you because I knew how you'd react, but she's like telling her, you'll see in the long run that I'm right. And Naomi was like crying.
They're both crying.
They were both crying. And like, I don't know. There seemed to be real tears coming from Naomi at least. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Yelling at each other about Jade, talking over each other. Like, it felt like more than a promo. Felt like they were really airing out some stuff there. It was like, it wasn't the most entertaining, but it was kind of like you had to watch because you're like, what the hell is going on here? It was like, oh, okay. It was a little uncomfortable. It was odd, but it was interesting. And then Jade comes out and like beats up on Naomi. It's like, all right, okay, but I'm not sure where it all goes from here because Bianca's got a match with Io, I guess. And there's Rhea Ripley. Like, where is she? Is she hurt? What's the deal? Is she gonna wrestle at Mania? Like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. But the Jade Cargill stuff, her, having problems with some of the people she's working with, is interesting. We'll see how all that goes. Her and Naomi too, all that. Something. I'm on Team Naomi for the record.
Huh. Okay. I just found the crying, to me, that kind of threw it off a bit and made it kind of comical. Like just seeing the crying. It's like, why are you guys crying exactly? Because you're going to reveal that you're the one that attacked her? Like, that's what you're going to cry about? I don't know. That just to me, that just seems funny. And I liked Bianca dressing in black. So I'm like, oh, maybe she's going to turn. And it's still not impossible. Because, like, right now, the way you have it, it's Rhea against Io against Bianca, and they're all baby faces. So having Bianca actually side with Naomi, that's not a bad thing in the end. Like, maybe it wasn't the plan all along, but she decides, like, oh, well, she's still going to be with Naomi. But the way she was reacting and, like, the way she was all upset and just let Jade walk all over her, I guess maybe we're not going down that road. I don't know.
Yeah. All of that stuff is odd. I'm not sure they have it all figured out.
Well, it was fun to see because they've been building for this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, Jade wiped through Naomi twice. You don't need a match. Like, the conflict's really done, to be honest. Like, Jade should just move on, do something else, find another partner, and try to win back those tag team titles, I think. Bayley, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, we got to talk about CM Punk and that promo that he did on Raw.
I'll talk about here. Wow, yes.
I mean, it was fantastic. It was perfect. That promo got me more excited than anything at Elimination Chamber. When Punk is going after people in that way, when he punches up instead of punches down, like, he's been punching down a lot lately at Seth and Drew. And it's like, okay, they're not as big as you are. You're a bigger star, and you're making fun of them, and it's good, but it's like, it's better when he's the underdog. When he's punching up at John Cena and The Rock. When he was going after The Rock, talking about how The Rock comes out and slaps his arm and pretends to care about the business and all of this. Oof. Punk was great. He is the last of a dying breed of professional wrestler. They don't make them like CM Punk anymore. And that's a shame. At least not in WWE. I mean, it's not the way in WWE. We got a couple CM Punks in AEW. MJF is a bit of a CM Punk. You know? He's willing to say whatever, whenever, and just go for it and dare you to follow it. And CM Punk just went hard at The Rock and John Cena. And it was a great promo. It was great.
I agree for the most part, but I didn't think it was you say it's like a perfect promo, and Angelo says it's the best promo ever delivered. Don't know if I agree with that so much. I thought it was good. I liked the intensity. I love the energy. I love the way that's how we started the show on Raw. We needed something like that. And I liked what he said about The Rock and Cena. That's all good stuff. Just a couple of things. He says he's going to say something. We might get kicked off Netflix. Not once did he say something where I'm like, oh no, they're going to get kicked off Netflix. I never had that feeling whatsoever, except for that one time that he said that. So that was kind of, he didn't deliver on that.
Okay.
2, I'm sure you know what I'm pretty much leading into right here, is where he's like, I wouldn't walk around with a fake title, when you yourself complained that he walks around with a fake title his last couple of days at AEW. So.
Oh, yeah. He did walk around with a fake title, didn't he?
Exactly. So.
Didn't he do it in AEW? He wasn't the champion, and he was pretending like he was the champion. But didn't he never lose the belt?
Well, that's what his claim was. But I remember your claim to it was that if you're not around, you're not the champion. So your title, like, it wasn't real. Like, that was your thing about it.
Well, the problem was they weren't working an angle.
Well, they were doing two different things. Like he was
Yeah.
doing his own thing. That's it. Yeah.
He was like, "Well, I'm the real world champion," and then you're over. And then who was the champion at the time?
MJF.
MJF, and it's like, okay, well, you're not building towards a match with MJF. MJF is doing his thing over here with like Samoa Joe or whatever, and it's like, well, why aren't you having the match then? If you think you're the champion and you think you're the champion, you have a ladder match and you figure out who the champion is. But that's not what Punk was doing. Punk was just being a dick and kind of reducing what MJF was trying to do as the champion. It was weird. And it seemed like Punk had full control over what was going on Collision, so it was just him deciding to do that. And we all know how that turned out for Punk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did walk around with a fake title, but at least he could claim that he was the champion. The Rock is literally walking around with some sort of weird belt called the People's Championship, and he's like, come on. Come on.
Again, I thought it was a good promo. It's just there were some things where I was like, I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'm like, there's a hole right there. But besides that, I enjoyed the promo. Again, great energy, great intensity.
Yeah.
Punk is definitely the best talker, I think, in WWE.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Better than The Rock.
Usually, I would say. I mean, The Rock does have some great promos. You know, the Mama Rose thing, like that is still a great promo. He still has some great ones.
But, man, when they went head-to-head back when they wrestled each other,
right?
Punk was crushing him.
He could probably still crush him today, actually. But The Rock's not bad, though. The Rock, I mean, they're right up there, both of them.
I kind of want to see it. It's unfinished business.
I kind of wish Punk was in that main event spot, but it didn't go that way, sadly.
Yeah, I told you, John. I told you it was going to be John Cena. You thought CM Punk was going to win the Chamber.
Well, and Punk kind of proved it right there. It should have been him. Because who was the guy out on Raw the first thing? Like, who delivered on that show? It was him. It wasn't Cena.
That's right.
But oh well.
Well, the Hollywood guys only show up when it's convenient. You know how it is. Randy Orton's going to wrestle Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, too. You know that's happening. There's another one we forgot.
Yeah, Randy, that was nice. I liked Randy's promo. I don't know what you thought about his promo. I know a lot of times you think Randy has a boring promo, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable tonight.
I don't know. When he started talking about, I'm hearing the voices and they're telling me to kick Kevin Owens in the head, it's like, all right, dude. You lost me, Randy.
That was his closer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, it wasn't a great way to close. It's like, what? It was like, I'm going to get him. I don't like him. But he loved him. He respected him, all of that. I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't the worst promo. It was fine.
I thought it really helped summed it up. Like, he's been gone for so long, and it kind of explained his feelings about Kevin start to finish. I mean, they were together for like a year. Like, last year at WrestleMania, they wrestled each other.
Yeah. Did they?
Comes full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comes full circle, this is it's in building, if you think about it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I just I wonder what this means for Sami Zayn.
I feel it's either Andre the Giant or maybe Karrion Kross.
Oof.
I know, step down sadly, but
what
I know.
The fuck?
Well, I could see him win Andre the Giant. I mean, who else is winning Andre the Giant this year?
Who cares? I mean, really, who cares?
Was it not Jey Uso who won it last year? No, actually, I don't think it was, actually.
I don't know. Angelo says Punk still crushed the promo. I agree. Like, it was so good. I got so hyped for that promo. When he was cutting that promo, I was like, yes, get him. I would like this guy. He's got something, He's got the spirit of professional wrestling. What did he say? He said something about being middle-aged and crazy.
Yeah, he said he's middle-aged and crazy.
Yeah.
There's no ways to do, yeah.
You know what that's a reference to, right?
That was Terry Funk, if
That's
I'm not
right.
mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, he had the best, tribute for Terry Funk, remember, not mistaken, AEW, he did that. That was the best, after the show was over. I think he had the best one, talking about how Terry Funk, what he meant for wrestling. How important he was for wrestling. Not just a great wrestler, but one of the best to ever wrestle.
Yeah. Because, love him or hate him, CM Punk does care a great deal about professional wrestling and the history of professional wrestling and the guys that paved the way for him and others. And he expects that same respect from the next generation. And he should get it. He should get it from Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more respect there. I mean,
if there's no CM Punk, there's no Seth Rollins. If there's no CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and Bryan Danielson, there's no Seth Rollins, Jon Moxley. Those guys are not existing in the main event level in professional wrestling. Just like CM Punk well knows that if there's no Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, there's no CM Punk or Bryan Danielson in WWE.
Well, guys that inspired the future. That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah. And if you lose sight of that and just think well, whatever, I'm just here and it's fun and I can do a flip and hey, Logan Paul or something, then you lose sight of all of that and the history and the tradition and the art and what it really means. And the blood and the sweat and everything you actually put into it when you're really doing it. But CM Punk has a real healthy respect for that. I don't know how much... when CM Punk talks about The Rock and the business he pretends to care about, I think there's, The Rock cares about the business, but I don't know. I think The Rock has a deep appreciation for pro wrestling, but just the way he kind of uses it and the way he kind of, when he tells the story of pro wrestling, it's just a little, it's in his image,
Everyone has their own different way of looking at wrestling. Doesn't mean it's wrong, though.
Yeah. But I appreciate CM Punk's respect and sense of history. Whereas The Rock's is a little bit different. The Rock does that WWE thing where he kind of changes history to kind of suit his narrative.
Thanks.
And, I think he learned that from Vince. And Hogan does that too, It's a Hogan thing. You kind of change history when you tell the story to suit, your narrative. I mean, it's not like Punk doesn't do that either, right? I mean, he tells a story about...
It's not like Punk doesn't do this a lot too.
Yeah.
I've noticed him do that a lot.
It's fun to do. Let me tell you something, brother. Hulkamania will live forever, brother.
Behind Mount Hogan, yeah, it's fun when you do that.
That's right. Mount Hogan, brother.
Almost all the Hogan toys back there, almost.
Oh, man, I've got way more. Hogan's all over the place. You have no idea. There's so many Hogans here. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I don't care. I love Hogan.
Oh, it's fine.
I love Hulk Hogan. Not a big fan of Terry Bollea. Two different things. Whoa, what the hell happened here?
See, we have to see all the Hogans now. That's where we're getting the big.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you said it,
I didn't understand what was going on.
And boom, you got it again. A lot more Hogan right there.
Look at all those Hogans.
Looks like there's like a superhero Hogan behind you. One with the
Where?
H2. One directly like behind you. Like you just turn your head like to the right. You don't see the H2 Hogan?
H2.
You don't see that?
Oh, the Mr. America?
Oh, there's that one too. Yeah. That was one all the way on the top.
Mr. America, brother.
Wow.
Where? Over
On
here?
the top. There you go. Yeah. There you go. You got so many Hogans are falling.
Yeah, Hogans are tumbling, brother. This Hogan. This is WrestleMania Hogan where he said the Silver Dome when he was at the somewhere the
last time
Superdome.
WrestleMania like 30, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. This is WrestleMania 30 Hogan where he was confused about where he was. I like that they made an action figure to commemorate confused WrestleMania 30 Hogan. I like that. There's so many different Hogans. So many different eras and varieties of Hogans. Hulkamania will live forever, Hogan. Look at this. This is like from a Royal Rumble. I don't know which Royal Rumble. Brother.
Well, probably one that he won, I think.
Better
Probably
believe
91.
it. He won all of them. He was the best. He was. He crushed. He was the best at wrestling, brother. He won all the time, brother.
See, here's a question for you. You probably have more Hogans than Cena, right?
Of course.
Okay. I'm sure
Of
you have
course.
a lot. I'm sure you have a lot of different Cenas, though, right?
I don't really have Cenas. I have maybe.
Oh, wow.
I mean, my son has a couple John Cenas. I think he's got a couple Cenas for sure.
He was not devastated by the whole Cena thing.
No, I think he thought it was kind of cool that he was with The Rock now. You know, like
He's with it.
And yeah, no, my son, who's 7 years old, you know, he saw the WWE posting like the videos of the kids like, oh, crying, and he was like, you know, that was his response. Like, what? What are they crying about? He's like, oh, cool. I'm like, yeah, John Cena, he turned on Cody, he attacked Cody and joined with The Rock, and he was like, cool, that's cool. You know, because it is cool. I don't think kids are even going to hate it in general. I mean, some kids might, but I think other kids are going to be like, well, we like John Cena, we like The Rock. Like when Hogan like started the NWO, I was kind of like, well, this is cool. Like, you know, he's with Razor Ramon and Diesel. That's kind of a cool team.
Well, he also went back on the whole say your prayers, eat your vitamins. He's like, oh, that was all a lie, you know? Like, he took it all back. This is the problem with Cena. Is Cena going to take it all back? I have a hard time believing he's going to take back all the Make-A-Wish stuff. And it was all a lie. I did it for the money.
He no longer believes in hustle, loyalty, or respect. He believes in disrespect only.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I
don't see him ditching the merch either, because that still sells, I imagine.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to want their, like, this is the last time Cena in this area, you know? Like, they're going to want that merch.
I guess they will. Johnny, AEW's got a pay-per-view this weekend. We should talk about it.
Revolution. That's going to be another 4-hour pay-per-view, which I don't believe we're doing a post-show as well.
Oh, no, it's Sunday night. It's, you know, if it was Saturday, maybe, but not on a Sunday. We're not doing it. We'll talk about it next week. We'll recap it. We will watch it, though. I will watch it, and I am looking forward to it. It's
I'll
gonna be
watch
good.
it. Like, I'm interested for the pay-per-view. I want to see how it goes down. I worry it's going to be very long, but besides that, it should be pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Jon Moxley versus Edge, a.k.a. Cope. AEW World Championship is the main event. Konosuke Takeshita defending his AEW International Championship against Kenny Omega, which will be awesome. Toni Storm versus Mariah May in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the AEW Women's World Championship, which will be awesome. Swerve Strickland versus Rick O'Shea in a match to determine the number one contender for the AEW World title. Also should be great. Mercedes Moné defending her AEW TBS Championship against Momo Watanabe. I don't know. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defending the tag team titles against the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. Solid names on those guys. Their gimmick is, MJF versus Hangman for the soul of AEW, I think. I don't know what's on the line there, but it seems like everything. Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental Championship against Brody King. And Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher one-on-one in a steel cage. Also, the pre-show match, Big Boom AJ, the chocolate chip chunk chip cookie guy, with Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe versus Johnny TV, also known as Johnny Nitro, and Mansoor and Mason Madden, the MXM collection. They were the male models, I guess, in WWE, and they're still doing that gimmick for some reason on the pre-shows of AEW pay-per-views. Yep. That'll happen. I'm probably not going to watch it because, although I might want to see the chocolate chip cookie guy botch, so I may watch it just to see him fail.
I think it's something to also mention. I believe Collision airs tomorrow, so something still might happen off tomorrow. We might get more matches tomorrow. I expect more matches, actually. Duh. So this is probably not the full card.
Buh. Collision was taped.
Right.
So I think Wikipedia would have the matches.
Well, no, but they can air like segments,
graphics.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like it's 10 matches. It's enough. It's enough, guys. Take it easy. Okay, let's start with the main. Well, no, let's start at the beginning. Big Boom, AJ, and Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe against Johnny Nitro and the Mace Mansoor. I mean, obviously, the chocolate chump cookie is going to win with his buddy Orange and Briscoe.
Is the Rizzler going to be there?
Who cares?
I mean, he's the guy that everyone cares about. So.
I guess. Some people care. I really don't.
Dave's not a big fan of the whole thing.
There's nothing there. It's nothing. Just a kid with a face. I don't care. Anyways. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It's going to be good. I mean, what's going to be the best match we see on Sunday? Because it could be this one. It could easily be this one.
But they are confined to a cage. So either, that they're going to go crazy off a cage, or because they're confined to a cage, it makes it harder for them.
What do you think?
I think they might kill each other.
Yeah, I think they're going to go crazy off the cage, man. Have you seen these guys wrestle? It's going to be nuts.
I'm going to say I think Ospreay wins it. But, this could go either way.
Yeah. I'd go with Ospreay too. But, yeah. It's going to be great. Who won the last one between these two?
I think Ospreay won. So that's why I'm kind of worried about it. But yeah. I think Ospreay wins this.
I don't know. I'm really not sure because I feel like they've wrestled a bunch and it's hard to keep track of like who's where in the series.
It's tied, I think. Well, like it's not really tied, but they've said it's tied.
Okay. So then Ospreay should win.
I would think.
It is tied, right? Because they've wrestled a bunch on pay-per-view, no?
Right. Well, I think Fletcher, they're saying on pay-per-view, Fletcher won the first one, Ospreay won the last one, right?
Right. Yeah, Ospreay then, I think. That's how it should end.
It's
Why not?
AEW, you never know. Like, we're taking guesses here. It's
Yeah, it is
not
tough to figure out. I don't think Tony Khan really knows. I'm not sure he knows where he is. Kazuchika Okada defending the AEW Continental Championship against Brody King. I don't think he drops it to Brody King. This match I'm not so interested in. Like, why Brody King?
Well, because I guess Buddy got hurt, right, against Okada, so he's just trying to get revenge. But it still comes out of kind of almost nowhere for it to be a title change, so I don't see it there being a title change. I think Okada wins.
Yeah. I agree. I always go with Okada. He's the best. MJF taking on Hangman Page. Okay. This is where things get serious.
It's tough.
The build to this has been great. The promos have been great. MJF and Hangman are two of the very best in AEW, if not the two best. I think you can make an argument that these are the two top guys in the whole company. And the winner of this match is, more important than the winner of any other match. This is not for any championship. This is not for the number one contender. This is not for anything other than a grudge between MJF and Hangman. They have built it excellently. The promos have been so good from both guys. They are both at the top of their game. The match is going to be fantastic. I'm just not sure who wins in the end. I think MJF will cheat to win. I feel like that's the move. Hangman loses in a big one, but maybe not. Buckshot lariat? 1, 2, 3? I mean, this is for the soul of AEW. This is for so much. It's great. They're so good, man. MJF is so good, and Hangman is also so damn good at professional wrestling in every aspect of the game. I don't care what CM Punk says. Hangman did nothing wrong. Okay?
Did you notice?
Hangman did nothing wrong. Nothing.
Did you notice that the Chamber when right before Punk beat Logan Paul, like Paul went for the buckshot lariat, and then Punk countered it. Very much like I think how he countered against Hangman, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah. He won't let it go.
And just another thing too, just to kind of again, little jab here. As Hangman the week prior came out in a truck, went right to the ring. And what did Punk do this week?
Did he come out in a truck?
I'm pretty sure he came out in a truck. He went right to the ring.
You think that's on purpose?
It's an amazing coincidence, if it is. I just want to say that. Like, Hangman the same, like, he did that on Wednesday, and then the following Monday, Punk does that. It's amazing.
He's obsessed with him.
Again, I'm just taking a jab here. It's funny how it feels like it's not dying almost. Like,
I'm picking MJF to beat Hangman.
I am too, just because I feel but again, this can definitely go either way. Like, Hangman could easily win this match. I just feel MJF, he'll do whatever it takes to win, and he loves to cheat, so that's why I give him the edge. But Hangman, like, he's definitely like strong enough to beat MJF. Like, this could easily go his way.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that they're kind of building MJF for something. He's won, I think, his last couple of pay-per-view matches, so I feel like you're going to build him up to a big title match or something here. So I would think he's going to beat Hangman.
I think these guys are my favorite wrestlers on TV, on all of TV.
Well, I was going to say AEW, but okay. Well, wow.
Yeah. There's nobody in WWE I like more than MJF or Hangman. Who do they have?
Well, they do have AJ Styles.
No, I like MJF more than AJ Styles by like a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Hangman too. I like Punk a lot too. I think Punk is good, but I like MJF more than Punk. I enjoy his stuff more than Punk. I think MJF and Hangman are my two favorite wrestlers going today. And, Will Ospreay's up there, too, and Kenny Omega. They're so good at wrestling.
Well, and all those guys are wrestling on this pay-per-view, so this must be the pay-per-view for you then, I guess.
Yeah, and they have Toni Storm, too, and Mariah May. They're two of my favorites, too. I really like that Charlotte Flair, though. She's great. She's going to wrestle next week against B-Fab, which,
You're very excited. You can tell. Just like, oh, that's happening. Like,
yeah. If I were to book like an ultimate wrestling show, I think Hangman and MJF and Charlotte Flair would all be on it. So would Toni Storm and Mariah May, and Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Book like the ultimate wrestling card with TV wrestlers. CM Punk.
I would put Statlander up there. I think Statlander. I thought, I actually somewhat enjoyed that match. Statlander and Thunder Rosa against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
I just wouldn't put them on the same level of an MJF or a Hangman Page or a Charlotte Flair or a CM Punk. I'm talking about top of the top. I'm not talking about top of the mid card. I'm talking about the very best. Toni Storm. Chris Statlander is good, but she's not Toni Storm.
I would have agreed with you, but after that Mercedes match she had twice, I feel like she could hang.
Not promo or gimmick wise, not even close. I want the total package. Right. I'm talking about everything, John. I'm talking about somebody that's out there that can do every damn thing in wrestling. Not, you can have a solid match, a good little hand. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see somebody that could do everything. That can wrestle an incredible match and cut an incredible promo. Toni Storm can do that. Charlotte Flair can do that. Mariah May can do that. Mercedes Moné's promos have not been that. So she's not in that category right now. MJF can do that. Hangman Page can do that. Swerve Strickland can do that. Will Ospreay can do that. Kenny Omega can do that. Everything. CM Punk can do everything. The whole thing. Kevin Owens can do all the things. Not many of them can do all the things you need to do. But they're out there. They do exist. I've seen them on TV. Every week I see them. And I go, they can do all the things. I like them. MJF and Hangman Page, two of the very best in the world. They may be 1 and 2 right now. And I'm not going to say who's 1 and who's 2. As long as Bryan Danielson is hurt, inactive, retired, whatever, there is the number 1 spot available. When Bryan comes back, then he gets it again because he's the best. But as long as he's not around, the crown is there for the taking. And MJF and Hangman Page are both fit for the crown. Top of the line.
So is Bryan coming back this Sunday then?
I hope so. He's the best. I love him. I miss him. Bryan Danielson for president. He should be the first pro wrestler president. He'd be the best. He'd be the best one.
Well, let's see him come back first and then talk about.
Does he help Edge win the title, or does he just beat up Jon Moxley after Jon Moxley beats Edge?
Yeah, I like it afterwards because I feel Edge, he kind of screwed himself this past week
Mm-hmm.
because he had the match with Wheeler, had him beat, looked like he was going to take him out, but instead just shook his hand and let him walk away. I think that's going to come back and that's going to hurt him in the end.
Yeah.
It's going to cost him, I think. the title.
Maybe. I just don't see him winning the belt here. And this whole build, this whole feud has been kind of not that exciting for me. I haven't loved it. It's too bad.
I think Edge can get a good match out of Moxley. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think the match will be good. I just, have you loved all the promos and stuff leading up to it?
well, of course not. But like I want this will end though. We'll go on to something else, but I think Moxley will still be the champion though.
Mm-hmm.
And they've set it up where it's like, oh, Moxley's like cornered right here, but Edge didn't quite finish it off. So that's what's gonna be his downfall, I think, this Sunday.
Yep. I've got Moxley retaining. No title change. I think Moxley walks out of Revolution still champion. Like, I don't think Christian takes the belt or anything. I think he's just champion going forward.
We'll get teased, of course, because Christian, he's there for a reason, right? He'll be there to tease, but
Yeah.
Not yet.
No. Okay, how about some other matches here? Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defending the tag team titles against the Outrunners. I think we're going with Shelton and Bobby there, right?
Yeah. I like Troop Magnum and Turbo Floyd. Like, they're good. Like I like their gimmick. I like the energy they bring. They're, I think, a good addition for the tag team in AEW, but they're not being the Hurt Syndicate.
No. Mercedes Moné defending the TBS title against Momo Watanabe. I mean, I think Mercedes has this, right?
I mean, this was, it's fine. They bring in someone that she had a good match with, but I mean, I think this is the match people care about the least, though.
Yeah.
This should have been something else. Like, this is very disappointing, to be honest. This should have been on Dynamite.
I don't know who Momo Watanabe is at all.
I mean, they've shown her a little bit. We've seen her, and they've done little things, but they didn't do a good job. I guess she will be wrestling on Collision, so you got a better idea of that, but
If I watch it, which I won't.
well, there you go. So, I imagine, depending, of course, where it's booked, but I'm not expecting a lot of people to have a lot of energy for this match when it happens.
Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet, a match to determine the number one contender to the AEW World title. I think this is going to be good. The build to this has been good. This Ricochet character has been really good. I like Swerve's line in the promo on Dynamite this week where he says, after this, people are only going to remember you for two things. One, me reviving your career for a little bit. And two, your ring announcer wife. And then Ricochet got up and got all mad. And the crowd started chanting, holy shit. It was a good moment. It was a good promo. I really like this Ricochet character. Where has this guy been? Where has this been? It's like all of a sudden he's like the most detestable heel out there. He's been great in this role. Really good. Right? The new Ricochet is fun, isn't he?
Yeah, he's found himself.
Yeah, finally.
And it's great. Like, I don't think anyone's ever going to argue that he was a good wrestler. The character was kind of lacking, but he found a character that's worked in AEW, and he's taking advantage of it. And I think he's not going to win on Sunday, but I think he's definitely in the right path of one day becoming AEW World Champion. He's not going to win Sunday to become number one contender, but I could see him become number one contender in the future.
He could be a real annoying and funny world champion. I'm wondering how far this can go with Ricochet, because he was really able to handle himself and cut a solid promo for a long period of time on Dynamite this week, and I was like, damn, where has this been his whole career? He was sitting there. He looked like a star. He was cutting promos like so much charisma, so natural, so relaxed. I was like, my God. This guy is the guy that we should have seen in the WWE. What the hell? It's crazy. He's been so good here. That promo was excellent with Swerve.
I feel like he's found motivation. Like, I don't know if he had that motivation to have this kind of character, but ever since I think he got to AEW, he found that. And it kind of pushed him to be the way he is now. So I'm actually looking forward to, if it ever happens, him actually bringing in his ring announcer wife. I know you're enemies with her still, but still, I think that'd be great for her to come back in.
Yeah. Okay. Time was Toni Storm in a Falls Count Anywhere match against Mariah May, AEW World Championship on the line. I think Toni retains. She just lost. She just won the belt. I don't think she's going to lose it here, but I think the match is going to be incredible, and you never know. Mariah could take it back because Mariah is great, and I think these two can wrestle each other and, have a feud going on for the next year. They could wrestle each other at every pay-per-view for the next year, and it would be good. So,
well, I'll agree with what I think a lot of people are saying, that this should be the true main event of the pay-per-view, because I think it's the best story going into the pay-per-view. I agree with that. However, like, I've heard other people say, like, it's not going to fit right with what they have planned. So it sounds like what they have planned for the main event, something's going to happen where that needs to be the last match. So, I mean, the way this is going to work out, I kind of understand if it's just going to be that kind of anywhere, just that's it, it's over, it's done, and they have to move on. Where I feel like the main event, there's going to be a lot more to that. So this is the finale of this. So I get it. I'm expecting this to be very good because it's been very good in the past. So I expect that this could easily, you talk about the match we've seen before as well, this could easily be the match tonight as well. I expect the crowd to be very into this.
Everybody loves Toni Storm and Mariah May. How could you not? They're two of the best things in professional wrestling. They're great. Konosuke Takeshita against Kenny Omega. AEW International Championship on the line. I think Kenny's going to take this belt. I think this is where Kenny finally beats Takeshita.
Well, I think we've actually picked the same, and we're going to continue this. Yeah, I had Kenny win the title because we don't have too many title changes, right? So this is where I actually had a title change. So,
wow, have we picked? This is the whole. We did it. We got through the pay-per-view, and I think we picked every match the same. John, what the hell?
Okay, then I will actually, just to be different. Actually, I will pick different with MJF and Hangman. I will pick Hangman. Then I'll change my pick.
Okay,
just to be different,
because it could go either way. But
100%.
Yeah, but for the record, we both did pick MJF. I mean, we picked everything the same. That's funny.
Well, I don't expect it to be completely right, though, because so many times the AW picks go the other way. So.
Yeah, it's hard to predict the booking, which I like. Sometimes I don't like it because you're like, why the hell did you do that? Like, sometimes, like, you predict something because it should happen. And it makes the most sense for it to happen. And then they go in another direction, and you're like, why? So sometimes it's not good that it's unpredictable because it's, like, weird. But most of the time, I like it when it's a surprise. I don't want to be able to call everything. Like Elimination Chamber, I picked every single winner on the card. The only thing I didn't predict or expect was the John Cena turn at the end, which was a bit of a twist, but other than that, WWE is like super predictable. I appreciate that AEW is unpredictable. Other things about it I don't appreciate, but I think AEW is a solid wrestling product. They have some of the best wrestlers in the world. I just think, there's some things that they could be doing better, booking wise. But who couldn't as a wrestling company, I
think we can agree when it comes to pay-per-view. They pretty much deliver, so
yeah.
I know I'm getting my money's worth when I order one of their pay-per-views.
Exactly. It is where the best wrestle.
Like, I saw people writing that it's on Amazon Prime. You can order it off. If you can order it off Bell TV, I got it off Triller. I got the double pack, so I got the Revolution Dynasty one where you get like a little bit more of a discount if you buy them at the same time. So
Nice.
that was for true value. You want that actually. Just get the double pack that's on Triller.
All right. AEW Revolution going down Sunday night. And, hey, tonight, guess what? Spring training.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Yankees beat the Blue Jays in a meaningless spring training game tonight, so who cares? But still, it happened, so that was nice. Regular season starts in, 3 weeks?
They get another injury or no? Or
Not tonight. Not that I know of.
they know of yet? Okay,
I think we're good. Yeah, do you know who's playing? Oh, yeah, John. Okay, how about this? Who's playing third base for the Red Sox this year?
Hey, we don't need to talk about controversies.
Oh, now you don't want to talk about. Oh, okay. When it's okay. Yeah, I've been reading up on the Red Sox and what's going on in Red Sox land, John. What about your boy there? What's his name? Devers?
Bergman's pretty good too, man. Like I have no problem with him.
Yeah, well,
as well.
who's going to play third base? Because Devers seems like he wants to, and he doesn't really want to give it up.
You know, one night one can play, one can be DH. You know, they get switched up.
Sure. You bring in a guy to play third base for your team, and then all of a sudden he's like, nah. Cole is getting tests done tomorrow. Garrett Cole. What happened to Garrett Cole?
This is tremendous.
Shut up, John. What? What?
This is great. Well, did Jory lose, like, what's his name, Gill?
Yeah, Louis Hill is hurt, and it doesn't look good. I don't know what's going on with him.
And Stanton's
oh, my finished. God, he's undergoing tests on his throwing elbow.
Oh, this is tremendous.
He looked bad yesterday in his spring training outing. I didn't realize that it was because he was hurt. He's undergoing tests on his throwing elbow, and we'll know more within the next couple days.
He missed like half the season last year.
Stanton is hurt, and like his elbows, I don't know what's going on. He's hurt, and it may be a while. This is the thing with the Yankees medical staff, man. Like they're like, see how it goes, and then it's like you wait like 3 months, and then in June it's like, actually no, he needs surgery and he's shut down for the year, and you're like, what? And it's like, yeah, he won't be back till like next July. You're like, what? Then he comes back and his career is done because he's just done. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Louis Hill was a rookie of the year. Tremendous. Great pitcher. So good. And now he's hurt. So he was going to be probably our fourth starter. And now he's not around. But the good news is we still have Marcus Stroman, who we were going to trade, but now we can't because we need a fifth starter, so he gets to stay on the team. So at least we have a backup there. But no Stanton. No Stanton. No Louis Hill, which really sucks. And if we don't have Garrett Cole, who's the ace of the staff, I think we're fucked. I think the season is a wash, and we just give up and try again next year. Honestly, I think we just give up. Fuck. If we don't have Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton to start the season, fuck. We're fucked. What are we going to do? We're
season hasn't
fucked, man.
Season hasn't started yet.
Oh,
so
Garrett Cole cannot be hurt. He can't be hurt. If he's hurt, we are fucked. It's over. I give up. Like what do we do?
It's crazy how 1 week you're like, oh, the Yankees are going to win the World Series again. Now it's like it's over.
Well,
like,
if half the team gets hurt, if all our best players get hurt, what are we supposed to do? If the ace of the staff goes down for the season, and we also lose Giancarlo Stanton, who was the only guy producing in the playoffs, what are we supposed to do? If all our players get hurt, I swear, if something happens to Aaron Judge, I'm going to lose it. Keep this man in a bubble wrap. Oh. Undergoing tests on his throwing elbow. Not Garrett Cole. Why couldn't it have been Carlos Rodon? Shit, man. Thank God we got, what's his name, Freed? Thank God that we got Freed in the offseason because, like, he could kind of stand in as the backup ace to the staff, you know? But, 1-2 punch with Garrett Cole and Max Freed was going to be so nice. Ah, shit. We started the season last year without Garrett Cole because he was hurt.
You did okay to start, no? You got a great start, actually, last season. So
I mean, he was all right, but he wasn't like he was the year before where he won the Cy Young.
I meant more the team, actually. The team started off like 10-2 or something?
Oh,
Like,
the team started off really hot last year. I think we're going to start off real slow this year, and it's going to be tough to watch. Ah! Oh, I'm really devastated by this Garrett Cole news. Oh, it's so bad. Oh.
I'm actually more looking forward to
He needs to be okay. Please be okay, Garrett Cole.
I actually can't wait for next year. The baseball classic they're having next year, that should be fun.
Tell me more about Rafael Devers, and he's not even like playing yet in spring training, and he's already making demands about playing third base, and he doesn't want to DH.
Yeah, that's happening. Sure.
Yeah, he's the big star of your team, John. Big star of the Red Sox, Rafael Devers. He's like, I don't want. We got a new third baseman. He's really good. He's better than me at third base, but I don't want to just hit. I want to play third base. That's my position. And then meanwhile, he's not even ready in spring training. He's like not working out. He's not doing anything. So tell me more about that and the problems with the Red Sox, because I like hearing about that. Makes me feel better about Yankees injuries.
What I remember is I saw both of them practicing at third base. So that's fine. Like they're both
only one guy can play the position, though, John. You can't have 10 guys in the field.
That's why they're going to switch it up every now and then. They'll switch it up. They can do that. You don't always play the same time all the time. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Only you're making it a problem. There's no problems.
There is problems. You know there's problems. The way you're talking, you know there's problems, John. You know it. When Devers says, no, I play third base. That's good. Real team player.
It'll fall in line. Don't worry.
Ray Cruz thinks Christian's going to use his contract and cash in on Edge when he beats Moxley. Okay. Shout out to Ray Cruz. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis and all the members supporting at join.ringsidereport.net. Harold Schneider, thank you. You're the super chat leader of the night, Harold. Been a member for 45 months. Thank you, Harold, for supporting the network. Jason Pete out in Mexico. Thank you, Jason. Did you guys see the new WCW YouTube channel? I saw that it existed. I haven't checked it out, but I did see that they put a bunch of WCW stuff on YouTube, which is cool. Patrick Deneau, member over at membership.ringsidereport.net. Thank you to all the members for supporting over the years here on the Ringside Report Network. Johnny, when's your next match? When can people see you?
So it's going to be the 29th of March. I'll be back at John Abbott College. Be in the tournament for the Mad Dog Heavyweight Championship. So the plan is to walk away as the heavyweight champion and sell 2 more of these wonderful wrestling slam buddies of myself. I sold 5 of them today, so they're going fast. So buy them now.
Wow. Patrick Deneau, a member over at donate.ringsidereport.net. You could go to donate.ringsidereport.net or join.ringsidereport.net to support the Ringside Report Network. How can you buy the Johnny gimmicks? At the show only?
Yeah, there'll be 2 of them available at the show to buy.
Okay. There's no other way to buy one?
Well, there's only so many of them. There's actually only a couple left, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you better go to the shows that I wrestle on. You go there. May 10th, I'll be at the Paradox Theater wrestling for Chamber Wrestling, so there'll be some there as well. So these are the places to buy them at, where I wrestle. See me wrestle? buy one of these while they're still available.
There you go.
Be available forever.
There you go. Go get them. Go get them now. And I'll be back tomorrow night for the UFC 313 watch-along. We'll watch Magomed Ankalaev fight Alex Pereira for the UFC light heavyweight title tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time.